Welcome to Visualize, the podcast where collaboration fuels change. I'm your host, Chris Baker, and each week we'll explore incredible connections between nonprofits, businesses, and the community. This is a space where we highlight inspiring partnerships, uncover strategies for creating meaningful impact, and share stories that show how working together can make all the difference. Whether you're a nonprofit leader, a business owner, or someone just passionate about building connections, this podcast is for you. Welcome back to another episode of Visualize. Today, I have Nick Wusher from Yifno, and he runs the Gyerard Reid Foundation. So welcome, Nick.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So what started you on this journey to create this nonprofit?
So the nonprofit is named after a friend of mine that passed away in 2020. So we wanted to put together an event that was celebrating his life, get together the community, and give back to the youth of Broward County. He happened to be a part of the Boys and Girls Club when he was growing up, so it just made sense to partner with them. In terms of the actual event, which is the G Classic, we just had our second one February 1st this year. Last year we did in Holiday Park. This year we did in George English. And the idea behind that was we all love basketball. Mm-hmm. There's a venue or an event, basketball tournament in New York called the Rucker Park. And we wanted to bring that same type of energy down here, have a Broward County version of the Rucker Park. So we have MCs out there, like comedians that are MCs that are chirping the players, kind of getting in their head, music. It's basically, in a nutshell, it's a celebration of life, and we wanted to honor him. And what better way than to, give money to the kids that are, at the end of the day, the youth is the future. So, and especially kids that are underprivileged. The motto for the nonprofit or the foundation is "You're worth more than what you have," which is a quote he used to have on his wall all the time. And it's a quote that I live by. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, that's a little rundown.
No, that's fantastic. So how did Yifno, your business, get involved and assist in the creation of this foundation?
So Yifno, we've had Yifno for 5 years now. It's a clothing brand, but it's more of a lifestyle brand. So we kind of center everything around the collections, whether it be the events or the content, the videos, everything's always centered around the clothing. But we wanted to start our own nonprofit regardless for Yifno, but it just made sense to have them both intertwined. So we'll host it and also like cross platforms, cross audiences, which is bringing our community over to the event of the G Classic. So for example, we'll have the stand set up at the G Classic with our newest collections or previous collections to showcase it. And that's on top of the other sponsors as well. But it just made sense to have, the brand Yifno host the nonprofit that we're putting together. So it's a branch of it. They're completely separate entities, but it's everything Gyerard Reid Foundation is going to be, supported by Yifno.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
So can you talk about your event that you had on February 1st? So that was your second annual. So tell us a little bit more about what happened. What was the experiences? What were the reactions of the kids? Give us some stories.
Okay, so the event is a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We have a DJ that comes, sets up, plays music. We had this year, Fatty Mats is the name of the smash burger spot that came set up. We have friends obviously that bring their kids and stuff. This year and last year we didn't really have a lot of kids at the event because it's more targeted to a PG-13 adult audience because of the comedians and the music that's playing. So obviously we can't have the comedians saying certain jokes or we have to kind of keep it PG if we're going to have kids involved. So it's more of this event is thrown to get everyone together in remembrance of him. But at the same time, we're able to give back to the community that we all grew up in. So Yeah, 3-on-3 basketball tournament. There's a cash prize. The cash prize at the end, obviously, we present it to the winners of the tournament. Last year, the competition was good. This year, the competition was like, we had former college level players. Like,
Wow.
yeah, so
They brought their A games.
oh yeah, the competition was on fire this year. So, I mean, as it goes on, I'm definitely excited to see more teams, obviously more sponsors, and being able to provide more for the Boys and Girls Club is the ultimate goal. But I don't ever want to lose the essence of, hey, we're here to celebrate, you know, my boy G's life.
Right.
So,
no, that's fantastic. So when you're talking about the 3-on-3, who's allowed to be on the 3-on-3? Because you're talking now. For me, I thought it was the kids, but now what I'm hearing is like these are A player like athletes.
oh yeah.
So tell us a little bit more. How do they come up with the teams? Like, how does that structure work?
So we leave it open. We have a sign up that they can go through. They sign up for their teams. There's obviously a buy-in, and anyone can literally sign up.
Okay.
Like LeBron James could sign up if he wanted to sign up.
Well, there's your call out.
Yeah.
For next year.
We're not gonna stop someone just because of the level of player they are. And I mean, the best team technically didn't even win skill wise.
Yeah.
The team that won was like the underdog throughout the whole tournament.
Really?
Yeah, so they won, and I was surprised. We had the champs from last year show up, and the team that played them in the championship last year, and they're sick. For like, there's no other word for it. They're just sick.
They're that good.
Yeah. So, yeah, the underdog won the whole tournament. I was very surprised this year.
That's fantastic. Tell us a little bit more about the underdog then, because honestly, if you're saying that, like, there's got to be a story that happened. Like, they went down, they came back up. Like, what was the route that they had to get, but they, eventually won.
Yeah, so there was teams that had guys that were like 7 foot. One guy was 7 foot. There's like a bunch of like 6'6" athletes, and then obviously, so we had an uneven amount of teams. So we gave the champion from last year a first round bye. So all these other teams had to go in and go through like 6 games in a row.
Wow.
Which is up to 6 games, up to 21 is you're going to be gassed out. And
yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, and they ended up, winning. They didn't have anyone that was like 6'6". Like, no, they had, I think tallest guy they had on their team was like 6'2", which is still tall, but
sure.
I mean, yeah, they could jump out the gym though.
Oh, wow. Okay. So when you're actually talking about like collaboration and sponsors and getting more people for the next event, what specific sponsors or, what could you add to your next event this coming next year to really kind of even spice it up even more?
In terms of sponsors, we're open to most people being sponsors. We obviously, like, certain companies, certain industries, you can't have them sponsor something that's donating to the Boys and Girls Club of Fort Lauderdale or of Broward County. That's the part we're working on. So is the growth aspect and getting more sponsors. This year we had about 5 sponsors, and then 2 anonymous sponsors that were like pretty big, pretty decent sized donors.
Sure.
When it comes to gaining more sponsorships, we need to just, I guess just get out there more in terms of attracting more people to the actual event. That's what I'm working on most at the moment, is figuring that out. I don't know if this like segueing into another topic, but that was the biggest obstacle I had to face in the beginning. Was last year I put together the entire event and the entire foundation solo
by yourself.
Yeah, so we had a bunch of bumps in the roads because we were originally supposed to throw it in 2023.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I bit off a little bit more than I can chew on where the venue we were going to do. We were like going to build our own basketball court. And then when I started looking at the cost and everything, I go, well, we don't have the sponsorship and my pockets aren't deep enough to do that yet. So,
yeah. Okay.
Then I started figuring it out, and thank God for our city rep. Brittany. She's amazing. She helped me through the entire process, and the city of Fort Lauderdale was extremely helpful. Whatever questions I needed or I had, they answered. And then we decided on Holiday Park, which was perfect. It was right here. And then that's when I realized, okay, now that I went through it myself, and kind of got an idea of how everything worked, and we pulled it off. It was a successful event. I decided to bring on 2 of my other friends or 3 of my other friends to help me with the whole operation. So that has been a blessing in itself. I have my friend Fino, my friend Santi, and my friend Anthony, who we're all friends of Gyerard as well. And they have, each taken their own role within the organization, whether it be event coordination, helping out with sponsor outreach. It's just
all of those roles are very important. So
extremely.
Yeah, because as you can attest, taking on everything yourself, and any nonprofit usually starting out does do that.
100%.
You start out as a one-person show, you might have the board and they can help out where they can. But at the end of the day, whoever's running it, they're in it, and they're in it hard. So getting the extra assistance, very valuable. And it shows. I mean, this year that just happened,
we doubled our efforts in it. So we were at like $3,000 last year, and then we're able to get to like almost double it to like $5,000 this year.
It's growth.
Yeah,
that's huge. And honestly, what impact does that have for the Boys and Girls Club?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's, the end of the day, that's what you've been, tasked to do with this foundation. So I think that's amazing.
No, I agree. And I mean, we're looking at, kind of getting into more of the creative space as well for the kids, because I mean, Yifno is a creative company. We are in the creative field.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we definitely want to get involved with up and coming creators, especially in the area, because we're, as a South Florida based company, I mean, we've done like, not to give a pat on the back or whatever, but to go on the Yifno side of it, we've done pop-ups in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, obviously. We started in Tallahassee, done New York. We just did London last year. So, I mean, if we can get a creator in South Florida or creative in South Florida that has that drive and hunger and that wants to be a part of, a growing company, we're more than happy to help with that. But again, we do want to help out the kids.
Nice.
Yeah.
Describe a little bit more so that we understand what Yifno is all about. And like, because I understand it's a clothing, but
yeah,
what is it? Who do you target? Who is your, like, what type of clothes do you offer?
So we're in a luxury streetwear space right now. So we are a streetwear company.
Okay.
I mean, I guess companies you can relate it to are like Kith, Aime Leon Dore, like if you want to go like Supreme, stuff like that type of style of clothing. As Yifno is an acronym. Am I allowed to curse on here?
Yeah, I can cut it if I need to.
You just want to bleep it out, yeah. It stands for Yo, It's Fucking Nice Out.
Yo, it's fucking nice out. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So me and my buddy started it in college, Tony Marassa, and then we would do pop-ups out there, like I mentioned, and then we brought it down here. I figured it out how to, maneuver through the spaces down here, and then we brought it to outside the country in New York. So we're elevating our product as we go. So right now we're in a manufacturing process of like getting the best garments that we could possibly get.
Yes.
So we're trying to make something that we're going to make something.
There you go.
That is going to outlast me. Like I want something I can pass down to the generations after me.
So you kind of actually jumped into like my final question, which is actually kind of cool. So, I'm going to actually change a little bit because I want to actually go with this. Is what is the legacy you want to leave for future generations?
The legacy I want to leave for future generations. I mean, I heard Timothée Chalamet, he just did an award speech, and he said he wants to be one of the greats. He's tracing greatness. And I can agree with that. And I think a lot of times people will downplay what they're doing, and I've done it in the past, but I want to be able to inspire future generations. Because at the end of the day, like, not to sound cheesy or anything like that, but like anyone can actually do it. It's about either you do it or you don't. There's no really trying. You can try to do something, but if you don't do it, if it doesn't work out, then you didn't really do it. So
Try,
yeah, exactly. So I want to be able to inspire those kids that are working on a project or not sure what they really want to do, but have a passion for something, but are scared or nervous what other people think. Because I think at the end of the day, and especially in the past few years, it's been like cool, quote unquote, cool not to try. Like, but at the end of the day, trying is cool. Why or not, or caring is cool. Caring is the right word for it. So
there you go. I like that.
yeah, people think it's cool not to care or think they're too cool for something. But at the end of the day, if you don't actually care about what you're doing, why are you doing it in general?
You have to have that passion.
Yeah.
You have to have a love for it, or you actually aren't going to fully pursue it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no roadmap.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't actually put that passion behind it, you just kind of like are sitting in the car and just stalled car. Who knows like what's going to happen. So no, I appreciate that. So normally that's at the end, but we're going to change a little of the strategy here because you brought up legacy. I love that. I'm going to keep rolling with it. You went to London. So tell me a little bit more about that. How did that happen?
So it starts with a friend of mine named Amy. I reached out to her. She lives out in London. And I was reaching out in regards to getting in touch with up and coming DJs or artists to, send over our clothing, kind of get a footprint out there. Mm-hmm. And I started liking posts of like DJs that I liked, that I was seeing their music. I enjoyed. I liked one of them. One of the accounts reached out to me and go, "How did you come across our account?" "I recognize Yifno." And I go, "Let's hop on a call." So we get on a call, fully thinking this guy's going to have an English accent.
Yeah.
And he answers the call and goes, "What's up, bro?" And I go, "What?" I was kind of taken back. I was like, "All right." It was his name's Nick as well, ironically.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he runs a label called Flat 22. And we hit it off. We clicked. And I go, "Hey, I'll help you throw an event in Miami if you help me throw an event in London." So we ended up having him a part of the 5-year anniversary. And then he helped us throw the event in London. And we just, on a whim went out there. And it was a pretty good attendance. And as time goes on, we definitely want to keep growing a footprint out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of happened very fast, like in a 6-month span.
That is very fast. It's kind of nice to hear that, all you have to do is just like somebody's post and you never know what's going to happen. You don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And we're huge on collaborations. I mean, we've done a few in the past, obviously got to be selective with it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like having fun with the collaboration for sure. We'll do collaborations with, like, we did one with Mitch's Bagels out here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, where we made our own sandwich and we did like a small capsule of shirts that we dropped with them. And we did literally a pop-up in a bagel shop. So it's, yeah.
That's where collaboration can really shine. You're bringing more, you're bringing the community together. You're helping helping other businesses. You make a difference. It does work. I always believe that collaboration over competition, because you never know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. And the next thing you know, they introduce you to somebody that really changes your life. But if you look at it as a competition, you don't open that door and you don't walk through that door. You kind of pause and you put up a wall. And the universe is like, okay, you don't want to move. You don't want to do anything. Yeah. So you got to have that mindset of just, all right, let's take a look at this. Let's open that door. What's going to happen?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, at the end of the day, you're crossing audiences.
Exactly.
So you're opening your eyes. Whether my audience is looking at them or their audience is looking at us, it's new eyes on your company. So that's always a plus.
It's new eyes, and your efforts plus their efforts is 4-10 times as valuable, because now you're engaging, like you said, a different audience. And if they share and they share and they share, they weren't originally your audience. You just kind of exploded overnight. You never know. So that's why I believe in collaboration so strongly.
Yeah.
Like it is what's brought us forward as a company, and I believe it's going to bring everybody forward. So
I mean, this right here is a collaboration.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're we're on the podcast together. Like, my audience is going to look at your audience, is going to see me. This is good.
It always helps because you never know what's going to make the difference. So how do people find Yifno? How do they contact you, connect with you, buy your merch?
So we have our own website, yifno.com. That's where we do most of our drops. We do pop-ups. Those are, you know, a little bit scattered. We decide when we want to do that based on the collections. At Yifno on Instagram, at Yifno on TikTok. My email's nick@yifno.com. Anyone can reach out to me through there. Yeah, usually DMs work better on Instagram or email. But for the most part, we have one retail deal with a company called Sneaker Lovers, but for the most part, we keep it more exclusive to our website. We're very picky on where we put our product.
And I think that that's appropriate. You know, you want to make sure that it's aligning with your values, aligning with your purpose, and the whole business model itself. So you got to be a little bit more picky on where you put some of your stuff. So I appreciate that.
For sure.
As a business owner, as myself. So
yeah.
Then the next piece is the Gyerard Reid Foundation. How can somebody get involved? How can somebody look at sponsoring for the next event, the G Classic, for 2026?
So they can reach us on Instagram at the G Classic. They can DM us. They can either reach us on email as well, which is gyerardreidfoundation@gmail.com, or they can reach out to me directly. My number's 954-614-3422. Whatever questions they have, we're more than open to. We also have a Posh link, which is, it shows the tiers of sponsorship.
Okay.
As well as, you know, if they want to have a team sign up, it has most of the information there. So right now we're building our Posh for 2026. But yeah, pretty simple. Just those three right there.
All right. So let's manifest together here a little bit. Let's double what you've done this year. Let's go for 10,000.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right.
We will do it.
There you go.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Let's make sure that the sponsorships are in. $10,000. It goes back to the Boys and Girls Club. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So, Nick, thank you so much for being on the show today. And thank you for watching Visualize. Thank you.
I appreciate you for having me.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Visualize. We hope that the inspiration and practical insights can help you foster stronger connections and meaningful change. Don't forget to subscribe, share the episode, and leave us a review. To learn more about Visuals by Momo and how we support collaboration and storytelling, visit visualsbymomo.com. A huge thank you to everyone out there listening. Until next time, remember, collaboration fuels change, and your connections can inspire the world.